Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is a phenomenal day to dive deep into the scandalous, high-stakes world of Los Angeles. Grab your favorite drink and brace yourselves, because the drama we are about to unpack will leave you completely breathless. Let us get straight into the explosive action. The shatter of glass, the echo of a judge's gavel, and the visceral, agonizing scream of a fractured marriage are echoing through the canyons of Los Angeles. The climax is officially here, and the casualties are piling up faster than anyone could have ever anticipated. The simmering corporate war between Forrester Creations and House of Logan has just violently detonated, spilling out of the glamorous fashion showrooms and directly into the cold, unforgiving arena of the criminal justice system. Blood has been drawn, lines have been crossed, and the ultimate betrayals are currently tearing two of the city's most powerful dynasties apart at the seams. Brace yourselves, because the fallout from these catastrophic decisions will leave absolute devastation in its wake. Every single breath R.J. Forrester takes is a sharp, agonizing reminder of the brutal, unprovoked violence inflicted upon him. Clutching his severely damaged ribs, the golden boy of the Forrester dynasty is completely done playing the noble, forgiving victim. The era of turning the other cheek has abruptly ended. Fueled by the searing physical pain radiating through his chest and the relentless, vengeful urging of his father, Ridge Forrester, RJ is making a catastrophic, game-changing decision. He is no longer satisfied with simply seeing his rival fired from the family company. RJ wants absolute, undeniable retribution. Under Ridge's fierce, protective guidance, RJ has decided to officially file criminal assault charges against Will Spencer. This is no longer a petty rivalry over a woman or a corporate disagreement, this is a vicious legal strike designed to utterly destroy a man's life. RJ is marching straight to the authorities, determined to see Will locked behind bars and stripped of his arrogant Spencer privilege. The golden boy is playing dirty, and he is fully prepared to use the full weight of the Forrester name to ensure Will pays dearly for his uncontrollable aggression. The war has officially moved from the glittering fashion runway to the sterile, high-stakes environment of the courtroom. Ridge Forrester is using this physical altercation as the ultimate weapon to crush the Spencer family's reputation once and for all. He sees Will's violence as the perfect opportunity to expose the dark, toxic underbelly of Bill Spencer's empire. By pushing RJ to press charges, Ridge is launching a nuclear legal strike that threatens to destabilize the entire House of Logan launch. The Forresters are out for blood, and they will not stop until Will is wearing handcuffs. Across town, inside the towering glass fortress of Spencer Publications, the atmosphere is dangerously delusional. Bill Spencer sits behind his massive desk, swirling a glass of expensive scotch, completely underestimating the incoming legal tsunami. When news of RJ's impending assault charges reaches his ears, Bill actually throws his head back and laughs. It is a cold, arrogant sound that echoes through the executive suite. Bill genuinely believes that his billions, his high-priced lawyers, and his sheer ruthless willpower make his family completely untouchable. Bill dismisses RJ's threat as the pathetic whining of a weak Forrester boy who could not take a punch. He is smug, victorious in the recent fashion wars, and entirely blind to the very real danger his son is currently facing. Bill assumes he can simply write a check, intimidate a judge, or bury the evidence, just as he has done 1,000 times before. His hubris is blinding him to the catastrophic reality that the legal system is about to crash down on his family with unprecedented force. The Spencer patriarch is playing a dangerous game of chicken with the law, and he is about to lose. However, the arrogant laughter is abruptly silenced the moment Carter Walton steps into the room. The Forrester Creations COO and legal powerhouse does not bring empty threats, he brings cold, hard, undeniable facts. Carter's face is a mask of grim determination as he shatters Bill's delusional sense of security. He looks the billionaire dead in the eye and delivers a devastating reality check. The crime scene evidence is not just circumstantial, it is absolutely crystal clear. Carter meticulously lays out the damning details that will seal Will's fate. There are eyewitnesses who saw the unprovoked attack. There is indisputable security footage capturing the exact moment Will's fist connected with RJ's body. There are comprehensive, horrifying medical reports detailing the severe bruising and internal damage to RJ's ribs. Carter warns Bill that this is an open and shut case of aggravated assault. No amount of Spencer money or intimidation can erase the hard evidence that the Los Angeles Police Department is currently compiling. the legal reality hits the room like a physical blow. Carter makes it chillingly clear that Will is facing immediate, unavoidable arrest. The police are not going to send a polite summons, they are going to show up with handcuffs, read him his rights, and drag him out in front of the flashing cameras of the paparazzi. This impending arrest is not just a personal disaster for Will, it is a catastrophic public relations nightmare that will completely annihilate the Spencer family's reputation right as they are trying to launch their new fashion empire. The walls are rapidly closing in, and the sheer weight of this impending legal doom is having a horrific effect on Will Spencer. Isolated, panicked, and entirely stripped of his usual confidence, Will is experiencing a massive, terrifying psychological breakdown. The realization that he is about to lose his freedom, combined with the agonizing heartbreak of losing Elektra, has pushed him entirely over the edge. He is no longer the polished, wealthy heir, he is a cornered, desperate animal fighting for survival. Will's mental state deteriorates with every passing second. He paces the floors of the beach house like a feral beast, his eyes wild, his breathing erratic. The pressure cooker of his life has finally exploded, leaving him volatile, unpredictable, and incredibly dangerous. He feels betrayed by the world, hunted by the Forresters, and entirely abandoned by the woman he loves. This toxic cocktail of rage, fear, and heartbreak is transforming him into a ticking time bomb, and anyone who steps into his path is at severe risk of getting caught in the blast radius. The Spencer heir is spiraling into a dark, terrifying abyss. Knowing that the police could knock on his door at any given moment, Will's paranoia skyrockets. He is lashing out at shadows, his mind racing with desperate, reckless plans to escape his fate. The once charming young man has been entirely consumed by a feral desperation. If RJ wanted to push Will to the absolute brink, he has succeeded beyond his wildest dreams. Will Spencer is currently the most dangerous man in Los Angeles, simply because he feels he has absolutely nothing left to lose. While the Forrester and Spencer dynasties prepare for a brutal, public courtroom bloodbath, an entirely different kind of war is violently erupting behind the closed doors of the Cliff House. The serene, picturesque setting of the oceanfront property is about to become ground zero for the most devastating marital catastrophe in recent history. The fragile peace that Steffi Forrester Finnegan has fought so desperately to maintain is about to be completely obliterated by the man she trusts most in the world. The tension in the living room is thick, suffocating, and heavy with unspoken dread. Finn stands before his wife, his posture rigid, his eyes pleading but resolute. He has been completely, thoroughly brainwashed by the masterful emotional manipulation of his birth mother, Sheila. Blinded by a twisted sense of loyalty and a desperate desire for maternal connection, Finn takes a deep breath and drops a nuclear bomb directly into the center of his marriage. He looks Steffi in the eye and officially, formally requests that they allow Sheila to visit their son, Hayes. The moment the words leave Finn's mouth, the temperature in the room plummets to absolute zero. The air is instantly sucked out of Steffi's lungs. She physically recoils, her eyes wide with a mixture of absolute shock, nauseating disbelief, and sheer, unadulterated terror. She stares at her husband as if he has suddenly morphed into a terrifying stranger. The man who promised to protect her, the man who swore he would never let that monster near their family again, is now actively advocating for her return. Steffi's shock rapidly morphs into a blinding, volcanic rage. The betrayal cuts deeper than any knife. She cannot comprehend how Finn could even form the words, let alone suggest bringing the architect of their greatest nightmares back into their sanctuary. This is not a simple disagreement over parenting styles, this is a fundamental, catastrophic breach of trust. Finn is asking her to willingly open her doors to a woman who has brought nothing but death, destruction, and agonizing trauma into their lives. Trembling with a potent mix of fury and deep-seated trauma, Steffi launches into a desperate, furious tirade. She forces Finn to remember the horrors they have endured. She screams about the dark, rain-slicked alleyway where Sheila gunned them both down in cold blood. She vividly recounts the agonizing pain of the bullets, the terrifying sound of the ambulance sirens, the weeks of physical therapy, and the relentless, suffocating fear that Sheila would return to finish the job. Steffi throws every single one of Sheila's horrific, unforgivable crimes directly into Finn's face, demanding to know how he could possibly forget. Steffi's voice cracks as she reminds him of the psychological torture, the kidnappings, the endless manipulation, and the sheer, unadulterated evil that courses through Sheila's veins. She paints a terrifying, accurate picture of the monster Finn is trying to invite into their home. Steffi is fighting not just for her marriage, but for the very physical safety of her innocent children. She refuses to allow her son and daughter to be used as pawns in Sheila's sick, twisted game of redemption. Despite Steffi's agonizing, tear-filled pleas, Finn remains tragically, dangerously stubborn. The psychological hold Sheila has established over him during their secret hospital meetings is terrifyingly strong. He desperately tries to defend the indefensible. Finn argues that Sheila has genuinely changed, citing her recent decision to sign the divorce papers and her supposedly peaceful demeanor as absolute proof of her rehabilitation. He pleads with Steffi to show compassion, to believe in second chances, completely ignoring the mountain of corpses and shattered lives Sheila has left in her wake. Finn's defense of his mother is the ultimate knife to Steffi's heart. He is invalidating her trauma, dismissing her completely justified fears, and prioritizing the feelings of a convicted attempted murderer over the safety and sanity of his own wife. The brainwashing is complete, and the man Steffi married has been entirely eclipsed by Sheila's obedient, naive son. Finn's blind, desperate desire for a mother figure has completely destroyed his ability to see the lethal predator lurking just beneath Sheila's carefully constructed facade. The argument reaches a fever pitch, the screams echoing off the walls of the Cliff House. The foundation of the Shin marriage is cracking, splintering, and collapsing under the immense, crushing weight of this betrayal. Steffi realizes with horrifying clarity that reasoning with Finn is completely useless. He is too far gone, too deeply entrenched in Sheila's web of lies. If she wants to protect her children, she can no longer rely on her husband to be their shield. She must take drastic, immediate, and heartbreaking action. With her eyes blazing with absolute, unwavering resolve, Steffi draws the ultimate, unforgiving line in the sand. Her voice drops to a deadly, chilling whisper that cuts through the chaos of the room. She looks Finn dead in the eye and issues a final, catastrophic ultimatum. She declares that if Finn takes even one single step toward bringing that murderous psychopath anywhere near Kelly or Hayes, she will immediately pack up the children and walk out the door, and he will never, ever see them again. The ultimatum hangs in the air, a heavy, suffocating death sentence for their marriage. Steffi is not bluffing, she is entirely prepared to detonate her own life to keep her children safe from Sheila. She makes it explicitly clear that there will be no compromises, no supervised visits, and no second chances. Finn must make an immediate, agonizing choice. He can either be a husband and a father, or he can be Sheila's son. He cannot be both. The fracture in their marriage has instantly become irreparable. Finn is left standing in the center of his shattered living room, completely paralyzed by the impossible crossroads he now faces. The weight of Steffi's threat crashes down on him, tearing his heart in two opposite directions. On one side is the wife he deeply loves and the family they have built together. On the other side is the birth mother who is desperately begging for his forgiveness and love. He is trapped in a psychological nightmare of his own making, and every single path forward guarantees agonizing heartbreak and devastating loss. The peace that the Finnegan family fought so hard to achieve has been completely, permanently destroyed. The ghost of Sheila has successfully infiltrated their home, poisoning their vows and turning husband against wife. Steffi stands fiercely guarding her children, her heart breaking as she watches the man she loves hesitate to choose her. The battle lines have been officially drawn, the ultimatums have been issued, and the countdown to absolute destruction has begun. Will Finn break the toxic spell his mother has cast over him, or will his blind loyalty to Sheila cost him everything he holds dear? What happens when a cornered, feral Spencer is pushed to the absolute brink by a vengeful Forrester, and will Finn's devastating choice officially trigger the most vicious custody war in Los Angeles history? Drop your boldest predictions below and subscribe to our channel for every shocking update.